personality.
Thank
you
you.
smile. Politicians don't smile enough. They need to smile more.
I'm not a politician, and honestly, it was fun.
Okay, I hate to tell you, you're now officially a politician.
6 months into being a politician.
Yeah, you're in.
6 months after tonight. Okay, officially, I'm going to have to cringe, but wear that label.
Right.
But I do think, Sean, it's going to take an outsider. I do not think, whether it's ending the war in Ukraine, whether it's reviving this economy, and the war that I really do want to fight is the war on the administrative state and the shadow government here at home. That is not going to happen from somebody who comes from the super PAC class. It's not going to come from somebody who comes from the historical Republican Party. It is going to take an outsider. And the other thing, Sean, that I think is really important in this election is that we're skating on thin ice. This has to be a moral mandate. This cannot be another 50.1 election. And I'm in this race to build a multi-ethnic, working-class majority like Reagan did. This has to be a landslide. Young, old, black, white, Hispanic, man, woman, doesn't matter. I'm running this campaign that way. We're going to the south side of Chicago, to Kensington, in the inner city of Philadelphia, where Republican candidates are taught not to go in a primary. No. But the reality is that's why I don't mention Republicans and Democrats on the stage. And I'm a little different than the other candidates here, because everybody else was focused on Joe Biden. And I think Joe Biden's a disastrous president. But I think the way we win in a landslide is we have to offer an independent vision of our own. And the more we do that, the more likely we are to win.
There were a few shots. It's not a time for on-the-job training.
Yeah.
You don't have that background, that experience. You have an impressive personal story talking about your parents. My parents, my mom was a prison guard. My dad waited tables on weekend and was a family court probation officer.
Look where you are now.
You know, by the way, they don't believe it, and they're in heaven. So they're looking down saying, God, how did that happen?
Yeah.
My mom thought I'd be on the other side of the prison.
Well, I think it's a remarkable.
But the point is,
but it's a remarkable story. The fact that your story,
that's the American
and my story.
Right.
The extraordinary thing about our stories, Sean, is that they're not out of the norm. They're normal in the United States of America. I think we need to make that true again.
Are you confident that you can convince the American people that, you know what, I've got enough experience that can take care of this country's needs?
Yes, and that is my job in this race. This was the first chance that I really had to introduce myself directly to the people. And I believe I will be the next nominee. I believe I will win the general election in a landslide that reunites this country. And I do think it's going to take someone of a different generation.
You would pardon Donald Trump. Would you pardon the Bidens?
No. I mean, it depends on, I don't want to be them, right? The real heart of the problem with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden is that I believe they're selling off our foreign policy to make money. And if that's proven in a court of law, they should be in prison probably for the rest of their life. But I don't want to be them. So I will I want to see impeachment inquiries proceed. And if they're convicted in a court of law, absolutely they deserve full punishment for that. And the facts look pretty ugly to me as they stand.
Vivek, anytime I mispronounce something, you have every right to correct me. And I wish you would have earlier, but I appreciate your good sense of humor.
Thank you, Sean.
Appreciate